So first, let's just talk about some things that fall into this category of fantasy self. Clothes that we really hope to wear someday. Craft projects and craft supplies. Kitchen appliances, smoothie makers, protein powders. Beauty products and supplies. Sewing, material, and quilting supplies. Well, and we can't forget shoes and handbags. Party and event supplies. Vitamins and supplements. Then there's gardens and gardening supplies. How about holiday and household decor? Books and homeschooling supplies. Baking supplies, but never declutter your bundt cake pan. And really expensive things like trucks and cars and campers and camping supplies. It was actually Tom's idea to talk about fantasy self.
Yeah, it's actually been my idea for like 6 months.
I don't think it's been that long.
7.
So today let's talk about what is fantasy self and what are some just really practical tips to be able to move on, let go of the guilt, and free up our house from all of this extra inventory that we've been managing. So the term fantasy self, it came about as a way to describe items that we acquire, basically hoping to become someone else or a better version of ourselves.
That's one way of putting it, or you could say it like it is things that our subconscious thinks would be awesome.
Yeah.
But in reality, they don't ever come to fruition.
And I think what's important to recognize about fantasy self items is that we have good intentions. When we acquire this stuff, or when Tom bought the Firebird, you really thought you were gonna fix it up.
Yeah, for like that week.
Until you got into it and realized like, oh no, this is a way bigger project than I thought it was gonna be.
Anyway, moving on.
But until life happened, right? And then you had other projects you were working on and other things demanding your time. We can't see into the future. We don't know what things are gonna pull on us in the months and years to come. And so I think it's important that we're not too hard on ourselves, that we recognize I acquired this stuff with really good intentions. Another thing that as I was just kind of refamiliarizing myself with this topic, I came across an article and it said that we have this tendency that when we're thinking about our future self and who it is that we want to be, that it's always a much better version of ourselves than what matches our current reality. And so there's this constant striving, and often we acquire stuff then to support that new role. And so Tom and I were talking about this a little bit, and I was like, does that resonate with you? Are we always thinking to the future that my best self or who I want to be is someone that's really significantly different?
Just around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, no, just walking every day. Like I've gotten the habit of walking every day, but that's not enough. I need to go to the gym and lift weights every day.
Yeah, I think what's tough about it is we all want to be better. We want to do more things. We want to achieve and grow and develop. But where is that line of this is never going to happen? This is just taking life away from me right now, or this is something that I'm actually working towards.
Right. So Tom, he bought this Firebird, when was it?
A year ago.
And you really thought you were going to fix it up. There were some events that you wanted to enter it in. And so that's who you saw yourself becoming, as a person that goes to these events, races cars or whatever. And in reality, when life continued to happen over the
remodel projects, parenting, being a husband and dad, like all these things.
And it's tough because you still want to be a car guy. Cars still give you life, and so it's finding that balance. And so what I really appreciated what Tom did was he recognized this project is way too big. You know, you looked at all your projects together and like, this one, too big, too much, this one needs to go down the road. And so I think that was good to kind of survey the situation and say, I do still want to be a car guy, but when I look at all my projects together, too big.
That's the one furthest from ever being a thing.
Yeah. And I was reading too, and it said that it's hard to make decisions in a vacuum. So if you would have just walked up to the Firebird and been like, should I keep it? Should I not? That actually is harder to make a decision when you're just looking at one item. And this can apply to like all of your craft supplies or different hobby stuff or camping stuff. If we just walk up and we're like, should I get rid of the tent? It's like, I don't know, but we have to look at the bigger picture. So you looked at all of your car projects and said, okay, these ones I could realistically potentially someday finish.
Wow, confidence. Thank you.
I'm just trying to be realistic. And these ones, most likely not. if I look at camping, like we'll camp in a camper all day long. Tent camping, anything like roughing it, that stuff, that can totally go. Yep. Craft stuff. Our friend Kimberly recently went through her whole craft room, and she had stuff from diamond dots to quilting to screen printing, and so she had to really hone in, okay, if I had 30 minutes a day, what things would I actually do and what things just need to be let go? And so it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Sometimes it is, but I think surveying the big picture and looking at what are realistic projects and which ones aren't anymore can be really helpful.
Do you have any fantasy self things? Because I don't know that I think you do. That.
Well, let's talk about clothes. So things like clothes, makeup, skincare, beauty supplies, that can all definitely be wrapped up into fantasy self too. And I was totally the person that would keep clothes that were too small, too fancy for my life, and like, well, someday I'll fit into those again. Someday I'll wear these fancy things. Someday we'll get all dressed up and go places. But there is something really freeing. So especially clothes. I think as women, most of us hang on to clothes that we hope to fit into again or wear again sometime. And as I've shared about my wardrobe recently, I've said like it has to fit now and I have to like it. Like, those are my only two criteria right now. They fit, I like it. So when I open my closet doors, everything's an option and it all feels good. And there is so much freedom. So kind of going back to what we were talking about of, our fantasy self, who we see ourselves to be in the future, to stop and say, nope, in this area of my life, it's all about the here and now. Clothing, it's all about the here and now. It is about what fits good today, what I feel good in, and I'm gonna stop thinking about being a size or two smaller, and I'm just gonna live here today and buy clothes that fit today because I deserve that. I absolutely deserve that. And so there's a lot of freedom in letting this stuff go and just recognizing that I had really good intentions, but it didn't happen. Tom and I don't even want to count how many gyms we've joined thinking that we were gonna when we met.
Well, that's the thing. So when we met, we used to work out all the time.
It was just like
it was just part of our life. We just go to the gym together.
Mm-hmm. And it was fun and we enjoyed it. And so we're like, okay, this one has good childcare so we can bring the kids and then we'll work out together. Nope.
That's actually what killed it. When we were just you and me, till when we started having kids. Kids is kind of what killed the gym for us.
Yeah, totally. It became completely impractical.
Yep.
And then it was like, oh, now the kids are getting old enough that they could stay home for a little bit on their own, or my mom can pop over and watch them. It lasts a week or two, right? Like it wasn't practical.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I've heard it described as self-discovery. Tom doesn't like the term self-discovery, but I like it because it basically means we didn't know. Like we thought we could make a gym habit work, and then we discovered that we couldn't. Tom thought he had the time and bandwidth to fix up a Firebird, and then he discovered he didn't. And that's okay. And so just giving you complete permission to let this stuff go, sell it. Are you yawning?
No, I was gonna cry.
Oh.
It doesn't feel okay.
Okay, but in all honesty,
I was being honest.
When you saw, so the gentleman, it was like two younger guys that came down to buy a Firebird.
I was like, sucker.
No, stop. But when you saw it drive out, was there a sense of relief?
I was like, oh, that guy's gonna feel the same way I did when he gets home.
I'm gonna see it listed
and
for
his
sale.
wife's like, you did what?
Yeah. Right, but was there a sense of relief?
Oh my goodness, yes.
And did we make money or lose money on it?
Dude, we don't have to keep beating this drum. Everybody knows that you lose money on cars.
And so again, permission. We've made mistakes still. You lose money, you lose time, you lose energy, but it's okay because keeping it was just costing us more money, right? It was not putting money back in our pockets. It just continued to be something that caused stress. I mean, on an almost daily basis, Tom would tell me a plan for how to finish all these car projects. I knew it was causing him stress. And so to be willing to part with that and let it go, I do think it brings freedom, and I do think it's okay to cut your losses and move on. So we'd love to know what fantasy self stuff hangs you up. If you would leave a comment below, it's helpful. It's fun to see because it helps others to realize they are not alone. So leave a comment below and we just give you permission to let it go, to move on, and to just enjoy living here today and doing the activities that support what you like and who you are today, because you are super awesome the way you are today.
And it is freeing getting rid of things that are bothering you that you don't use.
Yep.
Like that is true. Yep.
Awesome. And Diana and I did a video on this earlier this year about using an expiration date when it comes to fantasy self stuff. So I'll link that video down below as well. We hope that you have a great day. We love you, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye bye.